The call came at 2:14 a.m. She was in the bathroom, door half closed, light leaking into the hallway like a confession that didn't want to be spoken. I wasn't trying to listen. That's the lie people like me tell themselves. Her voice was low, soft, practiced. "No, I told you, not now." Pause. A sigh that didn't belong to me. "I can't talk when he's here." He. The word landed quietly, like a blade placed on a table instead of driven into flesh. I stood still, bare feet on cold tile, heart steady, too steady. I watched the reflection of the bathroom mirror from where I stood, saw her profile, saw the way her shoulders tightened, then relaxed, as if she trusted the person on the other end more than the man in the hallway. When she came out, she smiled. That was the part that did it. Not the call, not the whispering, the smile. It arrived a half-second too late, like it had been assembled, not felt. "You okay?" she asked. I nodded. "Just tired." The truth sat between us, breathing. She stepped over it without noticing. That night, lying beside her, I didn't sleep. I listened to her breathing, measured it, memorized it, and for the first time since I met her, I wondered who else knew the rhythm. The signs had always been there, I just hadn't named them. The phone face down, the new passwords, the way she'd leave the room to answer messages, then return lighter, almost relieved. She told me stories, always complete, always reasonable. Work stress, a friend going through something, a headache. Her words felt convincing because she practiced them, and because I wanted them to be true. I replayed moments in my head like surveillance footage, her hand pulling away too quickly, the sudden interest in clothes she never wore for me, the way she'd mention a name casually, then never again. I didn't accuse, I didn't ask, I watched. There's a difference between love and blindness. I crossed that line slowly, without realizing. One night, she fell asleep with her phone unlocked, a mistake born of comfort. I didn't touch it, not yet. I needed to know if I was paranoid or precise, so I tested reality. I mentioned his name, the one she'd slipped once, over dinner. Her fork paused mid-air, just for a breath. Then she smiled. "Who?" There it was, the microsecond where truth panics. I felt it settle inside me, heavy and calm. She wasn't careless, she was careful, and careful people hide things worth protecting. I became patient, dangerously so. I started noticing patterns instead of moments. The nights she stayed late, always Tuesdays. The weekends she needed space. The gym bag that never smelled like sweat. I checked phone records, not messages, metadata, times, frequencies, durations. One number appeared too often, always late, always brief. I ran it through my mind like a math problem that already knew its answer. Still, I smiled at her, kissed her forehead, asked about her day. Inside, my thoughts moved differently, controlled, strategic. I followed once, not close enough to be seen, not far enough to doubt. She didn't notice me because she wasn't looking for me. She walked into a cafe and sat across from him. He looked ordinary. That hurt more than it should have. No touching, no kissing, just leaning in, sharing space, intimacy disguised as innocence. I left before they did. At home, I stared at the wall for a long time. I didn't feel rage. I felt clarity. I ordered what I needed, accessed what I could, waited. The hardest part wasn't restraint. It was pretending nothing had changed when everything had. The confirmation came in an email, cold, clinical, unemotional. Screenshots, timelines, messages archived and recovered. Love disguised as secrecy, plans disguised as jokes. There was no ambiguity left to hide behind. That evening, I made dinner, her favorite. She noticed, smiled, reached for my hand. I let her. After we ate, I placed my phone on the table, turned the screen toward her, didn't say a word. She leaned in, curious. Then her face changed. color drained, eyes widened, mouth opened, but no sound came out. "That's not," she started. I raised my hand. Silence obeyed me more than she ever had. "How long?" I asked. She cried. That was her answer. I watched her fall apart like someone else's problem. I didn't yell, I didn't accuse. I explained that I knew before she confessed, that I'd watched her choose him in 100 small. She thought her words were enough, but I read the pauses, and I never ignored the signs